Hello and welcome to this week's news bulletin from the Christian Institute. The government has unveiled its highly controversial same-sex marriage bill this week. Leader of the Commons Andrew Lansley has said the bill will be debated in Parliament on February the 5th, when MPs will be given their first opportunity to vote on the issue. But the alarm bells are already sounding among senior Tories. Sources close to the Education Secretary Michael Gove fear the government could be powerless to prevent teachers being sacked if they refuse to promote gay marriage for reasons of religious conscience. Senior Cabinet Minister Philip Hammond has said that he is also concerned about the threat to civil liberty and challenged the robustness of the exemption for churches who do not want to allow same-sex ceremonies on their premises. Meanwhile, fellow Tory Tim Loughton has said he has received hundreds of letters urging him to oppose gay marriage and only a handful in support of it. In an interview for Brighton Argus, Mr Loughton said, "I have also heard from a number of gay people telling me, we don't need this, we don't want to go and get married." And Labour's Shadow Justice Minister Rob Flello has also spoken out, saying that the state should not rewrite the fundamental nature of marriage. Even David Cameron's mother has commented on the issue. According to the Daily Telegraph, she was asked why her son is pushing such an unpopular policy. She responded, "I know, but David just won't be told." A government bill which would allow future heirs to the throne to marry a Roman Catholic has been debated in Parliament this week. Children from such marriages would have to be raised as Roman Catholic, which could spark a constitutional crisis, leading to the disestablishment of the Church of England. Some senior MPs and peers are concerned that the bill is moving too fast and that there should be more time given to consider the constitutional implications and consequences. Baroness J of Paddington, chairman of the House of Lords Select Committee on the Constitution, says that the speed of the bill risks shortcutting proper parliamentary scrutiny. The succession to the Crown Bill is clearly of constitutional significance and as such should not be treated as fast-track legislation. And during the debate in the Commons, MPs also voiced their concerns over the conflict between church and state.
The government, as always, particularly when dealing with sometimes ill-thought-out constitutional matters, must be aware of the unwanted, unintended consequences that often flow from tinkering with legislation of this type and could damage the crucial relationship between church and state.
Under the rules of the Catholic Church, the children have to be brought up in the Catholic faith. There would therefore arise a potential conflict of interest in the mind of that person as to which they were to command their loyalty to their faith or their loyalty to the Crown.
A Roman Catholic adoption agency in Glasgow has been told that it will lose its charitable status unless it changes its marriage policy. St Margaret's Children and Family Care Society states that it expects applicants to have been married for at least 2 years before they can adopt. But the Office of the Scottish Charity Regulator says the agency's policy discriminates against gay couples and has given them until the 22nd of April to amend their policy or face removal from their register. The situation has arisen following a complaint from the National Secular Society, which suggested that St Margaret's was operating in breach of the Equality Act. Scottish Education Minister Mike Russell said he was disappointed by the regulator's decision and commented, "We do not believe that this outcome is in the best interest of the children St Margaret's helps, who are in need of a safe and loving family home." Diane Abbott has warned that young people in Britain are being damaged by sexualised images and easy access to pornography. The Shadow Public Health Minister says that it's resulted in a rise in sexual bullying. Ms Abbott commented, "For so long it's been argued that overt public displays of sexuality are an enlightened liberation," and added, "The pressure of conforming to hypersexualisation and its pitfalls is a prison, and the permanence of social media and technology can be a life sentence." And Claire Perry, who's just been appointed as David Cameron's advisor on childhood, said parents must be more aware of what their children are seeing on the internet and on mobile phones. Mrs Perry has been charged with making sure the recommendations of the Bailey report on the sexualisation of children are implemented. The number of babies being aborted for Down syndrome is being underreported by the government, according to national statistics. The National Down Syndrome Cytogenetic Register shows that 942 babies with the condition were aborted in 2010, but the Department of Health figures only record 482 terminations. The Catholic Herald has reported a government spokesman as saying, "We are aware that there is a potential discrepancy in figures and are looking into this in further detail." But Dr. Peter Saunders, chairman of the Christian Medical Fellowship, wonders whether there is a wider problem. He said, "Might the Department of Health figures be grossly underreporting the total number of abortions in England and Wales? The disparities in the figures are alarming and need to be investigated urgently." And finally, a couple have been telling of how they said no to aborting their severely disabled child after seeing his smiling face on a 3D scan. Katia Rowe and her partner Shane were devastated when they were told their son's disabilities were so severe that they should consider a termination. Katia said, "Further scans were arranged to assess the extent of his disabilities, but when I saw him smiling and playing inside me, I knew I couldn't end his life. Just because his life would be shorter or different didn't mean he didn't deserve to experience it." Tragically, just after Lucian was born, Katia and Shane were told that their son only had a short time to live, and he died 9 hours later. The couple have chosen to speak about their story because they want to support SANS, a charity that helps people who have gone through similar circumstances. Katia said, "The love and joy I felt the moment they put Lucian in my arms told me it had all been worth it." Well, that's all for this week. For more information and regular updates on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.